I think I made it. Oh, Jesus. I'm out of breath after that. I've managed to evade a vicious pack of Mexidogs in Zacatecas. Clearly I didn't, that was just a joke inspired by the Atrociraptor scene in Malta in the new Jurassic World movie. Anyway, today I'm in Zacatecas once again. The previous video was a 4K walk around at night time where we saw some awesome tamborazo. This is the 4th time I've been in Zacatecas, so I'm not filming in the city itself today. I'm actually getting on a bus to Guadalupe, which is just down the road. It's a place I actually intended to go about 3 years ago, but I never got around to it, so today is the day. Hopefully there are no more Mexidog attacks. Let's get going. I just stopped off at Oxxo for a fresca, mi favorito. And I was going to say, as in the last video, Zacatecas is iconic because there are so many things you see, even at like 10:30 in the morning, that are just so intrinsic in a way to Mexico. You've got tourist buses, you've got wonderful architecture, you've got this lovely lettering above shops, you've got people selling street food on the streets, you've got people over there in like traditional dress, things like that. Here we go, here's some food, wonderful, and some more there. Remember back in the day when YouTubers be like, is this Italy? Is this Spain? Including me. I actually did a video here years ago with kind of the sarcastic title as per usual, is this Mexico? To highlight the fact that Mexico's a real country and it has its own identity. Yes, there are similarities between certain areas in Mexico and places in Europe as a result of colonialism, history, architectural similarities, but you've got to remember that Mexico is its own country, you know. I'm near this Mercado where we've got fish, we've got nopales, you name it. But there's somewhere I wanted to show you that's near here that's absolutely elite in terms of colours. Here it is, it's this little park. I remember walking down these streets like late at night when I was here the last time, trying to find food and going to like little sausage stalls and stuff. Iconic. I've got to stop using that word. So yeah, it's not as elite as it was when I took a photo here a few years ago. I'll put it on the screen right about now. As you can see, it's a bit different. There's a lot more colour, and obviously I've edited the photo so it looks even better than it actually is, but it's still gorgeous, isn't it? So I did accidentally get on the bus to Guadalupe the other day. I'm just going to head towards the main road. Hopefully we'll be successful. Okay, there are loads of buses going to Guadalupe. Here's a bus stop. Are one of these my buses? There's a Guadalupe one, but it's in the wrong lane. Brilliant. Gracias. I'm off the bus. That particular bus doesn't actually come into Guadalupe Centro. It stops on the main road down there, so We're heading into Centro, that's okay. We can have a little bit of a walk and look at some of the houses down here. Classic, nice colours. Here we are, welcome to Guadalupe. Apparently, it is a Pueblo Mágico, a magical town. Honestly, over the years, I've learned to take that title with a pinch of salt because some of them are brilliant, some of them are a bit shit. But, I like it so far. It does give me vibes of Jerez de Gárcia Salinas, which isn't really too far away from Zacatecas. Like these classic zapateria shoe shops everywhere with the lettering at the top. There's a Mercado Independencia behind me. And oh, it's all very pretty down here, look. Nice. It did look a bit like a favela in Brazil. You know that one I got kidnapped in Sao Paulo when I was walking in, but seems a bit better now. Oh, what have we got? Alameda, is that a parque? Presidencia Municipal. Museum. Centro Histórico is that way, but I just saw something looks interesting back this way. Guy with a saxophone and a kid with a drum. There's always awesome street musicians in Zacatecas, clearly in Guadalupe as well, and Jerez. Just down a graffiti-ridden alleyway, as per usual. This is where I feel the most at home. We're heading to Centro now, which is up there and I think to the left. You know what, today in Guadalupe I'm having a nice relaxing day. At the time of filming this, I uploaded the second Hermosillo video yesterday, and oh my god, I don't know how you feel, but when I was editing that, when I watched it back, I was so stressed out, like jumping from place to place, trying to fit in everything possible in that place, and it's exhausting, you know. I want to be quite relaxed today without having to worry about knowing everything or doing everything. I'm going to touch on it later that I know some Mexicans, emphasis on the word some, believe that if a foreigner doesn't do everything in a place in Mexico, that means that they'll go away with a bad impression. It's not the case. I'm going to come back to a silly example later in relation to an Oxxo Hot Dog, so stay tuned for that one. I like Guadalupe. It's nice and quiet and relaxed. One thing I always notice about Mexico, like, there are always people out and about. Like, I could be completely wrong here, but, you know, you don't get people that are just sitting at home watching Netflix. They're always out and about doing something. You always get that impression in Mexico. There's always something going on. There's always a kiosco to climb on. There's always a catedral to look at up there, which we're going to in a second. Guadalupe, Zacatecas. There's the Pueblos Mágicos sign. Classic Mexi bus. This is the wonder of doing nothing when you come to a place. And I know for some, when you think of travel and going places, that might be slightly incomprehensible. Why would you go to a place and not do anything? But sometimes you just want to look at the flowers and the bees and the butterflies and relax and listen to the sounds of the music from the church. Watch abuelitas hogging the benches in the shade. Thanks, hun. And just take in the atmosphere, the magic. That's what travel's about, not stressing about fitting everything in unrealistically. People watching as well. There's more to travel than places, isn't there? There are people. You can watch people. I'm just watching some people behind me saying hello to children, and you know, children running around playing on the sign behind me as well. Abuelos walking with umbrellas, putting things in bins. Children playing with pigeons. Well, this is an absolute iconic, beautiful angel. It's the Convento Franciscano de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe. And it's absolutely beautiful. The artwork on the domes is absolutely spectacular. Really interesting design. I might have to look up what that's all about. This music better not be copyrighted. Let's have a look inside. So it really is stunning in there. I actually sat down and sat through the remainder of the church service. It was right near the end, so there were people queuing up, having the bread and wine from the goblet, and then at the end the priest himself drank from the goblet and then cleaned it. It reminded me of when I was at school. I went to a Catholic school in the UK and had to go to communions, masses, despite not being religious whatsoever. But you know, this is the point about YouTube, because obviously I didn't run up to the altar and stick the camera in his face, because that would be inappropriate. I feel like sometimes people think if it's not in the video, it didn't happen. There is something called imagination and common sense. You know, you can see me go in there, you can see me come out. Clearly I stayed in there, you know. So you don't have to see everything in a YouTube video to know that it happened. I know there's a thing nowadays, if you didn't take a photo of it, it didn't happen. It's just not true. So let's have some food, because I'm starving, and honestly I haven't got that much battery left, so that might be all we do. My power bank has stopped working. Brilliant. Fast forward to a little bit later. I've been walking around for a while, searching for food, which is pretty much what I do 24/7. It's quite a tiny Mercado, and all the food places at the top are closed. Just in a toilet. Don't piss on the floor. I haven't. That's a plus. Oh, what's out there? There's Guadalupe. Okay, it's food time. I fancied some Lonches. Remember them from Matamoros and Torreon? Last year, well, we're back again. I'm having Lonches Adobada, which is exactly what I had in Matamoros. But it is top tier elite. There's the lady preparing my Lonches behind me. It's awesome. It's one of these classic places in Mexico that's very much like a home kitchen, you know. Little shelves up on the wall with those ginormous jars that were mayonesa, now something else, probably salsa with the, you know, the kitchen sink there. It's really cool, isn't it? Here is the Lonches Adobada. Let's have a look. Ooh. Yes, I think it's pork. We've got chiles, mayonesa. You can of course have lechuga y jitomate, lettuce or tomato, ensalada, pero I don't like vegetables. Lonches Adobada. I just remembered the bread and Francis, French bread, beautiful. And I think they sort of scoop out the inside of it, then put the meat on with all the other fillings. It's beautiful. And Lonches is kind of like the torta basically. I don't really like tortas in that they're kind of too bready, but the French bread with adobada Lonches is beautiful. I'm making such a mess, look. This was the place. Quite simple. La Loncheria. Oops, excuse me. Before I go, I might get some ice cream. Why not? I've seen some really nice places and it looks awesome. Today, I've had a really good day, despite not really doing anything, shockingly. Mind's blown, right? I think sometimes with Mexico and travel anywhere, ignorance is often bliss. I think sometimes, bizarrely, the more we know about a place and the more we do, that can actually hamper our experience. Shocking, right? Yeah, ice cream. Here we go, a random, oh shit, helado place. Ooh, lots of options. What should we get? Fresa, mango, chocolate. Oh, is that dragon fruit? What's the blue one? I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to get the Oreo one. I'm going to be a basic bitch. This looks so good, doesn't it? Beautiful. Gracias. Hasta luego. So it's 2 big dollops of Oreo ice cream with chocolate on the top. And it's like, you know when you're a kid and you have that chocolate ice cream sauce that goes on, and it kind of hardens. That's what it is, and I've got a pink wafer in as well. This is the most beautiful ice cream I've ever seen in my life, and it comes in a little basket thing. This is classic me, sitting on the floor, on the pavement, with my camera balanced on a car bumper. Brilliant. This is an absolute top tier angel. Look at it. Wafer, ice cream, hardened chocolate on the top. She gets it out of like a pot, so I think it was like hot before. I don't know. It's truly an ice cream angel. It's so creamy. Oreo. You know, gelato you have in Italy. That's top tier. This is close to it. Mexican ice cream is divine. Oh, look. Orgasmic. Look at the little baskets. So cute. Guadalupe, you've been brilliant. That ice cream was so good, but I am literally so exhausted right now. So I'm gonna get on the bus and go back to Zacatecas. I'll see you there. Right people, it's much later in the day. I'm back in Zacatecas at my Airbnb before the sun goes down. It's time for my final thought. I'm going back to my silly example about an Oxxo hot dog from earlier. Bear with me, okay? Just imagine, right, that this was my first time ever in Mexico, and let's say I go to Mexico City for a week, right? And also let's imagine that the only thing I do in Mexico City is have an Oxxo hot dog and maybe a carton of mango boing. No Polanco, no Condesa, whatever. But you know what? I like an Oxxo hot dog. I like a carton of mango boing, meaning that I would leave Mexico with a positive impression. Yeah, I know that for many Mexicans, some, and I understand this, that you want foreigners to come to Mexico to have a good time and to leave with a positive impression. And sometimes, like today, I just want to go somewhere without knowing everything, without doing everything. I don't want to, you know? I just want to have an experience. As I said earlier, the atmosphere, the magic. I don't need to know the in-depth history of a church or the in-depth history of a certain ice cream place I go to. And actually, by some people incessantly and aggressively highlighting everything that I didn't include, ironically, that's what causes a bad impression. Don't feel that just because I only had ice cream or Lonches and went to a church in a place that I'm going to go away from Guadalupe with a bad impression. It's quite the opposite. Sometimes we only need to do one thing in a place for it to be magic, and that's what I like about travel. Right, next time we are actually going to Torreon, which is tomorrow in real time. So, oh my god, there's more Mexi dogs. I'll see you next time. I'll catch you later.